Hey, it's Jeff Manaski, John Meyer, Jim Rondinelli. We're talking baseball this morning. Jim, I chastised you this week. I said you had something you said was ridiculous, and it was. But you came in today.
Hey, gee, thanks.
You came in today, and you were kind of throwing a fit yourself with this idea that Major League Baseball is pitching to. See what I did there?
See what you did there.
To speed up the pace of play. So I'm going to let you explain it, and then you can start with why you think this
basically what they want to do is they want to cut down on the number of extra innings to shorten the games up. So in the low minors, Class A, maybe some of the rookie leagues, they're going to experiment with a new rule this year where if the game goes in extra innings, the team that's batting in the top of the 10th starts the inning with a guy already on second base. They're going to put a guy, out on second base, and theoretically to make it easier to score a run so the game doesn't go 15 or 16 innings.
I haven't heard this yet. Can it be like in Little League, like a guy re-enters to be the guy on second base? Do you have to have a special pinch runner? Is it the next guy up, the last guy who made it? That all seems to be up in the air. But the idea itself, I'll let you, why you don't like it.
But you're giving, who cares how long the game takes? You have a winner naturally. You're giving them a base runner, not only a base runner, but putting them in scoring position too. And what happens if they're going to say the next guy at bat who'd lead off the 10th would be the guy that goes to second? What if he's your big power hitter?
Right.
Now you lose his bat where you want to hit a home run and he's on second base. You're just giving someone too big of an advantage by giving them a guy in scoring position without having done anything.
I'm just going to say I don't like it, but I understand it, if that makes any sense. You look at other sports, college football, they do practically the same thing. Hockey,
25,
right?
For overtime.
Hockey, you get the 3-on-3 and then or 4-on-4, and then you do the shootout if it's still not decided then. So I understand why they're looking to experiment with it. I don't like it. I'm a baseball purist. I definitely don't like it. I think the way it is right now should be the way it is. This in the pitch clock is another thing that they're.
Well, see, I like that idea. I like that. Listen, baseball has a serious problem, and a friend of mine, he said this 15 years ago. The biggest problem why he wouldn't watch a baseball game is because this is the game. He throws a pitch, right? He catches the ball. He walks around the mound. He takes his hat off. He wipes his sweat. Looks into the stands, picks up the rosin bag, throws it on the ground, steps on the mound. Now, all this is happening, and the batter's outside the box, fixing his gloves, gripping the bat, tapping the dirt off his cleats. The pitcher gets in, he looks in for the sign, shakes it off, he steps off, he walks around the mound, looks back. And there's just so much wasted time. That's why I'm okay with a pitch clock.
But do you know how hard...
But this rule here does nothing to increase the pace of the game. Because, again, you're only talking about games that are extra inning games.
Correct. Right.
So how many games go into extra innings? I know it's not rare, but it's not like it's every other game goes. Right. It's, maybe twice a month a game will go in extra innings for a team. The other thing is, it's like they want to say for an intentional pass, you just go to first, which I'm fine with. Instead of throwing
with that.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay.
But how much time, if the problem is the game's 3 hours and 10 minutes, 3 hours and 20 minutes, what do you save, 30 seconds? And how often do you intentionally walk a guy as it is? So you're going to trim 30 seconds, a minute off a game, and you're going to say we've increased the pace of play because you make these minute, occasional changes? I'm okay with a pitch clock.
I would be more okay with limiting the number of pitching changes in an inning. You got one guy, you got a specialist, lefty specialist that comes out, pitches to a left-handed hitter,
throws one pitch,
and it throws one pitch, and then the manager trots out there, taking his dear old time, spits the gum out and everything, calls for the righty. Righty comes in, gets an out. Oh, here he comes again. Get the situational lefty out.
I agree. I agree. But my only problem with that is this: you could theoretically be in a situation where you got a guy, like let's say. The idea is basically if you start an inning, you have to finish it. Is that basically what that is?
You don't even have to finish an inning because I understand you throw to two batters or something.
Okay,
but you're in the major leagues. If you're a left-handed pitcher and you can't get a right-hander out, maybe you shouldn't be in the major leagues.
Back to the pitch clock. The pitch clock is going to be a disaster because how do you enforce it? There's going to be a pitch where the ump's going to say, "Oh, you threw the pitch too late," and they're going to say, "Oh, no, he didn't. There was a second."
And then they go to instant replay at that point.
It's too hard to enforce.
Along that line, though, from an enforcement standpoint, what happens if the batter does come out of the batter's box and doesn't get back set in time, and the pitcher, is dilly-dallying because he's waiting for the batter to get set. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. And,
no, but then he should be able to throw the pitch. And if it's a strike, it's a strike. If it's a ball, it's a ball. So if he's not ready, listen,
right, so
for a batter, you're only up every 9. There's 9 guys. There's eight guys in between you. If you're not ready when you step in there, to me, it's a tremendous waste of time. It's one of these things where, like, if you're a fan watching the game, so much of it is just downtime. He's walking around. He's fixing his glove. I would even. I don't want to start this thing where it's like you can't throw over to first base. But how many times you see a pitcher throw over 6 times to first base? Let's get on with the game.
The other part, too, to me, what happens if you legitimately have a problem hooking up with signs with the catcher? I mean, it happens when a guy gets on base. You change, your signs, the pattern that the signs are given out. What happens if there is a legitimate problem? Are you allowed to call timeout? Are timeouts allowed? How many timeouts are you allowed to have?
I would be okay with that, and I think that is something they can work out. Listen, this happens in the NFL. Guys run wrong routes. I mean, if you're crossing up the pitcher, the catcher is crossing up the pitcher, I think they need to have a better relationship, and they need to know what their signs are. To me, there's way too much downtime in baseball, and I would like a real solution, not extra innings. The guy starts at second, or you don't have to throw the pitch when you want to intentionally walk a guy. Again, this is not going to make the game any faster. It might shave 30 seconds off a game, but again, these rules, they talk about pace of play. Increase the pace of the game. Major League Baseball has come up with nothing to increase the pace of the game. And the only thing I can see, and I would be in favor of, is like a pitch clock.
For shame.
For shame?
I'm okay with it. I don't like it, but I'm okay with it, and I understand it.
All right.
The second base thing is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
They're going to try in the minor leagues. I think it will fail, and it's never going to go to the major leagues. Never ever. My prediction.